Ready to go behind the scenes of the written word. Today we're doing a deep dive into the world of editorial assistants.
A career path that's, well, essential to getting anything published, really.
Exactly, and your sources gave us a lot to unpack.
It's a surprisingly diverse field, really.
I bet. So for our listeners out there, we're aiming to pin down what it takes to not just survive, but thrive in this kind of role.
Especially because the publishing world is changing so rapidly these days.
Let's jump into that. One source I saw said over 60% of an editorial assistant's job hinges on reading comprehension.
Makes sense, right?
On the surface, yeah. But it's more than just skimming for typos, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Imagine you're an assistant handed a technical piece on, say, artificial intelligence. You not only have to grasp it, but make sure the writer's explained it clearly for someone who might not be an expert.
You're like a bridge between the writer and the reader.
Exactly. And that's where those descriptions asking for detail-oriented and strong communicators come in.
You're the hub for everything.
Writers, editors, even the outside world sometimes.
Which, let's be honest, our sources hinted that means things can get pretty hectic, especially as deadlines approach.
Late nights, weekend work, it's the nature of a deadline-driven field.
Especially one as fast-paced as publishing. So, aside from what we've touched on, what other tasks might an EA be juggling?
Oh, let's see. Scheduling interviews, tons of fact-checking, proofreading, of course.
Right, it's not all glamorous.
And even pitching your own ideas sometimes, which this is where it gets interesting.
You're about to mention what everyone's thinking about, aren't you?
AI. It's
Ah.
not just talk anymore. It's woven into the whole process.
So should we picture robots replacing editors? Or is it more like editors getting superpowers?
Superpowers is closer, I'd say. Think about it. AI can handle the automated stuff, proofreading, grammar, even flagging plagiarism.
Freeing up the human for the stuff AI can't do yet.
Nuance, emotional impact, that creative spark. That's what elevates writing.
So for someone starting out now, should they be learning to code along with their grammar rules?
That's the question everyone's asking. While you don't need to be a programmer, understanding how AI works in this field, that's valuable.
Shows you're adaptable.
Exactly. One source even mentioned AI being used to screen job applications now.
It's like you've got to impress the algorithm before you even get to a human.
And that's where tools like RoleCatcher can help, using AI to tailor your resume, cover letter, all that, to what employers are looking for.
So instead of fearing AI, job seekers can use it to their advantage.
100%. There are platforms that analyze your writing, give feedback, even help you practice for interviews.
Like a 24/7 writing coach.
And for research, think about it. AI can sift through mountains of info in seconds, finding what's relevant. That used to take forever.
It definitely streamlines things. But some people might be wondering, if it gets so good at all this, could it replace human editors entirely?
$1 million question right there.
Right?
And while it deserves its own deep dive, there are a few key things to keep in mind. It's the kind of question that makes you wonder what's next, you know?
Right, like where's the line?
And honestly, no easy answers. AI's gotten really good at the language part, patterns, even mimicking style, but there's this gap.
That human element, I'm guessing.
Exactly. What it doesn't have is, well, the heart of what makes writing work. Real emotion, understanding all the nuances, connecting with the reader on a personal level, lived experience, empathy, that creative spark. AI's not there yet.
Makes you think of those novels where you feel like the author's pouring their soul onto the page. Can an algorithm do that?
Hard to imagine, right. And listen, I'm not saying AI won't get better. Who knows what's possible down the line? But even if it could analyze, say, the emotional subtext of a story, generate text that makes you feel something, would it be the same as a human author drawing from their own life, their own perspective?
That's a good point. Maybe it's not AI versus humans, but how they can work together. Could it become a tool for editors instead of replacing them?
Now you're getting it. And that's the exciting part for anyone, whether you're just starting out or you're a seasoned pro. The future of publishing, it's this dance between human and artificial intelligence.
And knowing the steps to that dance is key. So embracing these tools, but also being aware of their limitations, always learning, that's crucial.
Absolutely. What we've talked about today, it's not just about the day-to-day of an editorial assistant, but the much bigger picture. How technology is shaping how we tell stories, really.
And that future, it's being written right now. So could AI eventually replace human editors entirely? That's a question that's on a lot of people's minds.
Yeah, it can keep you up at night, right? And to be honest, there's no simple answer. AI's come such a long way with processing language, seeing patterns, even sounding like a real person writing. But
There's something missing.
Exactly. What it doesn't have is, well, the core of what makes writing connect with us.
Hmm.
True emotion, that deep understanding of nuance, the ability to reach someone on a personal level. Those come from living, from empathy, from human creativity.
It's like those novels where you can practically feel the author's heart on the page. Can you imagine an algorithm doing that?
Tough one, right? Now, I'm not saying AI is done evolving. Who knows what the future holds? But even if it gets to the point where it can analyze, let's say, the emotions beneath the words, even generate text that makes you feel, is that the same as a human pouring their own experiences, their unique perspective into it?
That's a good distinction to make. Maybe it's not AI versus us, but AI with us. Like, how
Yeah.
can it elevate what we do instead of replacing us?
Now you're thinking. That's the potential here, whether you're brand new to this world or you've been doing it for years. The future of publishing. It's this collaboration between human ingenuity and, well, artificial intelligence.
And learning how to work together, that's key. It's been fascinating really diving into this. It's not just the tasks of an editorial assistant, but this bigger question of how we tell stories in the future.
And that future's being written now, just like you said.
So, to everyone listening, we hope this got you thinking. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive. And until next time, keep those creative sparks flying.